Welcome back, class 10, to the online classes. We had already started this chapter, excretory system. In the first part, I had explained you the different types of excretory organs. What is excretion? What are the different excretory organs like liver, kidney? Now today we have to start with the excretory system of human beings, also known as urinary system. It consists of a pair of kidneys, which is bean-shaped or kidney-shaped. Then it consists of a pair of ureters which arises from the kidney. Okay. So this is ureter, the duct which arises from the kidney, and it empties into a muscular bag which is known as urinary bladder. And finally, we have the urethra through which the urine is discharged outside the body. Okay, so this is the simple diagram of urinary or excretory system, which consists of a pair of kidneys, the two ducts which are known as ureters, urinary bladder, and the urethra. In male, the urethra opens or it is present inside the penis, which helps in the discharge of both the urine as well as the semen. It is a common passage, but in female there is separate urethral orifice which is meant only for urination. Now today we will start with kidneys. Kidneys are reddish brown in color. They are bean-shaped organs. They are the main organs of the excretory system, and both the kidneys are situated at the back of abdominal cavity. Abdominal cavity is this one, the stomach region. Just at the back side, if you put your hands on the waist, so just above your thumbs, okay, on your hips, your kidney are just above where your thumbs are present. So you can see here where your thumbs are. So here is the location of the kidney. Now next one is ureters, the two narrow duct or the tube which arises from the kidney and carry the urine to the urinary bladder is known as ureter. U-R-E-T-E-R, ureter. Okay. Now next one is both the ureters. The function is both of them are ureters. They have to carry the urine from the kidney, which is made by filtration of blood, to the urinary bladder. So this one is urinary bladder. Alright. And this one is the urethra. This is the diagram of urinary system. These are the kidneys. Okay, now next is urinary bladder. It is a muscular bag which stores urine temporarily in the body before it is thrown outside at the time of micturition. The process of release of urine from the body is called voiding or micturition. The term micturation. So what is the role of urinary bladder? The kidneys produce the urine. The ureters carry the urine from the kidney to the bladder. Bladder stores the urine temporarily, and urethra helps to discharge the urine outside the body. And there is the presence of a valve, a sphincter. Sphincter means a muscle is there. When it will relax under the command of our nervous system, then only the discharge of urine will occur. Otherwise, it will remain closed. Okay. So it is written there in your book also. The urine trickles the ureter into the bladder, which expands like a balloon and collects inside it. The top of urethra, this one, is surrounded by a ring of muscle. This ring of muscle is known as sphincter. What is it called? S-P-H-I-N-C-T-E-R, sphincter muscles. If asked what is the function of the sphincter muscles which are present at the top of urethra, the answer is it is tightly contracted, that is closed, so that the urine cannot get out of the bladder. Now when the bladder is emptied, because it is filled, now it is the urge to do urination, because bladder is completely filled. At that time, this ring of muscle will relax, and when it will relax, it will open the urinary bladder and the urine will be discharged outside through the urethra. So this process of or the act of release of urine from the body is called micturition. The word which I said, M-I-C-T-U-R-I-T-I-O-N. So if asked define micturition or voiding, the process of release of urine from the urethra or from the body is known as this micturition or voiding or urination. Now last one is urethra. Already I said it arises from the neck of urinary bladder and it extends up to the urethral orifice. Orifice means the opening, which is present in the male. It runs down the middle of the penis and it serves as a common passage for the discharge of both the semen as well as the urine. But in female, it is present as a small structure that helps in the passage of only urine. Now next we have to study internal structure of kidney. Okay. Okay, now look at the diagram which is given of internal structure of kidney. First of all, you should know kidney is a bean-shaped structure, just like Rajma city there. Same in that way only it is shaped. One side is convex, the other side is concave. Convex and convex side. Okay. Convex means the bulging outward part, and concave means the one which is depressed inside part. Now, a kidney consists of two regions. The outermost dark colored region, the one which I have shaded here, it is called cortex. And cortex contains many pits. Pits means if I will draw this cortex, it has many pit-like structures. All these pits or the dots represent the structural and functional unit of kidneys, which are known as nephrons. Nephrons. Nephrons or uriniferous tubule. Then the inner lighter region is called as medulla. So if asked what are the two regions of the kidney, the outer region which is dark in color is known as cortex. The inner layer is called medulla. Okay, cortex and medulla understood. Now, renal artery and renal vein. They are the two blood vessels which supply blood to the kidney. Renal artery will supply blood to the kidney, whereas renal vein will carry the filtered blood containing carbon dioxide through the renal vein, and through the renal vein it will be supplied to the heart through the vena cava. Now you can see that there are certain collecting duct or tubules which join to form pyramid-like structure. This is called renal pyramids. Okay, it is found in the medulla. Then you can find what is pelvis. Pelvis is that part, the central part of the kidney where all the renal pyramids will meet or join. And hilus is the broad expanded part of the ureter which is present in the kidney. It's called hilum or hilus. Now this one ureter, you know very well what is the function. Ureter will carry the filtered blood, that is urine, from the kidney to the urinary bladder. Alright. Now next is what is renal artery and renal vein. The kidney has a rich supply of blood through the renal artery, and renal vein is the one which carry blood away from the kidney. Now what is nephrons? This one we have to study. Nephrons, each kidney consists of 1 million nephrons, and nephrons are the structural and functional unit of kidney. Means kidney is made up of nephrons, and whatever function the kidney do, what is the main function of kidney? To filter the blood, to remove all the waste, as well as in the formation of urine. So kidney's function is to filter the blood and help in the formation of urine. Alright. Now next is what is the structure of nephron. So in the next topic we will study about the structure of nephron. Okay, now next we have to do is nephron. The structure of nephron. What is nephron? If asked, you will say nephrons are the structural and functional unit of kidney. Means kidney is made up of nephrons, also known as uriniferous tubules or renal tubules, and it is the functional unit. Means whatever is the function of kidney, that is to filter the blood and remove all the nitrogenous waste products, is known as the filtration of, that is removal of waste from the body, that is called excretion. So we will study that nephrons are the functional unit of kidney. Now each nephron consists of a cup-shaped structure which is known as Bowman's capsule. Alright, so see here I have drawn a Bowman's capsule. It is a cup-like structure. Okay, then it consists of convoluted tube. Convoluted means twisted. A tube is there which goes up. This tube is called PCT. What is it called? Proximal convoluted tube. Then it consists of a long hairpin-like structure which is known as loop of Henle. It is U-shaped. Like you can see here I have drawn U-shaped pin-like structure, hairpin-like structure. And then we have the DCT, that is distal convoluted tubule. And finally we have the collecting duct. Alright? So here we have the collecting duct. which opens into the ureter. So this is the simplified diagram I have drawn of a nephron. Now, inside this cup-shaped structure, which is called Bowman's capsule. What is it called? I said Bowman's capsule. BC I have written. It is filled with a tuft of blood capillaries. Like one blood vessel is coming here. It is known as, what is the name of this blood vessel? Which enters afferent and efferent. Two arterioles are there. Afferent arteriole is the one which brings blood from renal artery. So this one is called afferent arteriole. What is the name given? Afferent. A-F-F-E-R-E-N-T. Afferent arteriole. Now how it is formed? It is formed by the branching of renal artery. So it will bring blood to this and it will form a tuft of blood capillaries here, that is called glomerulus. This structure is called glomerulus. Alright. So what is glomerulus? Glomerulus is a tuft of blood capillaries which is formed inside the Bowman's capsule, into the cavity of Bowman's capsule. Then from here the blood is taken away with the help of a tube that is known as efferent arteriole. Okay, what is the name of this blood vessel which takes blood away from it? It is called efferent. E-F-F-E-R-E-N-T. Efferent arteriole. Alright. Now, when it comes here, it will branch. Several branches will be there. Like it will divide into branches. Alright. So here it has branched. Again, it will move further. Here also branching will be there. I have drawn shaded one. Here again it will move further. Like this it will be branching and supplying blood to all the different parts of the renal tubule or the nephron. Okay. So let's just start with what is PCT, DCT and all. Nephrons. Each nephron consists of a double-walled Bowman's capsule, cup-shaped structure. It is filled with a knot of blood capillaries called glomerulus, along with a narrow renal tubule. Now this part of the renal tubule, it is known as PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. Means from here up to this part it is PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. The first part of the tubule is convoluted or twisted, and that's why it is called proximal convoluted tubule. It then sharply dips down, means it will go down to form a U-shaped structure. You can see hairpin-like structure. This is known as loop of Henle. The one which goes down, it is called descending limb. This limb from here to here, it is called descending, D-E-S-C-E-N-D-I-N-G, descending limb, L-I-M-B, limb of loop of Henle. This one is called from here to here, straight it is, so it is known as transverse limb. T-R-A-N-S-V-E-R-S-E, transverse limb of loop of Henle. And from here to here, the upward part, it is called ascending limb of loop of Henle. Alright. Now you can see. Now ascending arm will finally join another convoluted part of the tubule. This part is called DCT, distal convoluted tubule. DCT means distal. Distal means far away. Proximal means the one which is near to the nephron. Distal means far away. Okay. So proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule. And finally this one is called the collecting duct, and it supplies the urine to the ureter, U-R-E-T-E-R. Alright? Understood now? Now, these two, Bowman's capsule and glomerulus, together they are known as Malpighian body, MB. Malpighian body. What is MB? Malpighian body. Okay? Or renal capsule or Malpighian capsule. So each nephron lies in both the parts of the kidney. Like some part of this nephron is present in the cortex, some part is present in the medulla. Like the glomerulus, this part, the Bowman's capsule, glomerulus is which one? This one. The Bowman's capsule, alright. The glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, and the convoluted tubule, that is PCT and DCT, all lie in the cortex part, the outer part of the kidney, whereas the loop of Henle, it is located in the medulla part of the kidney. Alright. Now next we have the blood supply of kidney. Each kidney receives the blood supply through a broad arteriole. It is called afferent arteriole. It is formed by the branching of renal artery. So more blood is supplied to the glomerulus at a very high pressure. Now you can see the diameter of efferent arteriole, it is very narrow. So it is more blood is coming, less is incoming is more, outgoing is less. So blood is filtered at a very high pressure inside the glomerulus. Okay? And what is efferent arteriole? The arteriole which carry the blood away from the glomerulus is called efferent arteriole. The one which brings blood to the glomerulus or to the Bowman's capsule is called afferent arteriole. Alright? Now, on entering the kidney through hilus part only, the renal artery will enter. It divides into many branches which is called arterioles. These arterioles enters into the renal cortex, and each arteriole is subdivided, and the branch of which enters the Bowman's capsule, it is called afferent arteriole. The afferent arteriole breaks into a network of blood capillaries which is known as glomerulus. The glomerulus emerges outside as efferent arteriole having reduced diameter, and the afferent arteriole has wider diameter. You can see diameter is more, here diameter is less. The efferent arteriole, after leaving the glomerulus, it branches to supply blood